completed day one series, which was basics of UiPath and how to install and everything. And we had successfully completed that, and with the more than 200 participant has joined yesterday. So thank you all who has joined yesterday's call. Talking about myself, I am myself Anupama. I am working as a programmer analyst in Cognizant, and I have total of 5 years of experience in IT domain. And relevant UI path, I have of 4 years of experience in that. And today we will be learning, today is the day 2 session, and we will be learning how to build your first bot. And Lovely will walk you through the sessions about technical sessions on how you can build your first bot using how to use variables and arguments in the UI path. And yeah, over to you, Lovely. Thank you.
Okay, thank you so much, Anupma. Hi everyone, this is Lovely, and hope my screen is visible to everyone.
Yes, maybe you can do a full screen.
Yeah, I'm just doing it.
You,
1 second. Yeah. Okay. So first, I'd like to thank Bhavani, Nikhilesh. They are the organizers and they're helping with the great initiatives coming in the Hyderabad chapter, and the sponsor as well, the Miracle Software System. And today we have a moderator, Anupma, who will help us to orchestrate this entire session. So, hi everyone, this is Lovely Sinha. I am 3 times UiPath MVP, also Dubai chapter leader for the UiPath community. And currently, I'm working as a manager in the Dubai holding. So, today the contents, the agenda of this session is first we'll have a recap, as I can see that there are a couple of questions to understand the gist of the last session and this current session as well. We will talk about the deep dive into the basic our UiPath terminologies, understanding the concept of UiPath variables, the how to create the variables in UiPath, UiPath arguments. So basically, we'll deep dive into how to work with data using the variables, the arguments, how to facilitate or move the data or utilize it in the entire use case solution using these concepts, variable, arguments, and constants. Then we will see how we can do the manipulation in the data. So as soon as we store the data, we will also do some exercises in understanding how we can manipulate the data. Let it be, that example be, if my name has a first name and the last name, right? And we need only the first name for our invoice processing, let's say, then how we can do those functionalities. Then we'll talk about input and output methods in UiPath. Along with that, we will build our first bot using UiPath. So before I deep dive into the entire session of the today's agenda, how many of you are just starting with the RPA, or have you already installed the UiPath? Because this will give me understanding so that I can ensure that you also parallelly build your first bot using UiPath. So, how many of you maybe say yes? Yeah, I mean, already I can see a few responses. So, that's great. So, then I will ensure that, maybe you can also have UiPath Studio opened. And by the end of the session, we will parallelly go through the tips and tricks and create our own first bot so that you can utilize and see that how you can create efficient bots for your day-to-day basis. Yeah. Okay. Now let's do a recap. So in the yesterday session, we went to understand for the RPA. So RPA is a robotic process automation where we create a software robots, not the hardware robots. So software robots to mimic all the actions, repetitive structured actions that can perform by a bot. Okay, and these RPA bots are again, there are various terminologies, there are various ways where RPA can be running in your system. Could be attended bot, where you need human interaction, where human can trigger the bot, or you can have an unattended bot where you can schedule the fixed time for the bot, and bot keeps on running as per the given frequency. Let it be maybe at midnight I want a bot that will complete the some reconciliation process, right? So those bot are attended bots and can be scheduled and be running in the server. Then we also understood the software development life cycle. So in like a general programming software development life cycle, RPA projects also has a life cycle where we first identify, evaluate the process. So there was a question on the education field. So in this criteria, as a first process or first stage, we do identify, we try to analyze it. We see that if the process can be optimized using application, maybe just going to the application team and tell that can you build a function for me so that I don't have to create a bot, right? We'll do the analysis that really it is going to be efficient, really it is going to have a productivity. And then once we have analyzed the project, we go with the design, we develop the bot, we test it and implement it. Okay. So, and then we deploy the bot. So these are the different life cycles of the RPA project. Again, it varies depending on the governance, the process, the risk involved in any company or the entire. But ideally, we identify, analyze the project, whether it is an RPA, could be considered as an RPA project. We design, develop, we test, and then we implement. Okay. Then we went through the UiPath platform. So UiPath has a three components. So we went to the studio where it's a designer where we develop the bots, where we do the logic implementation. We have a orchestrator, which is basically monitors and controls the bot. Then we have a assistant where in for an user interface for a sorry attended automations where we can trigger the bot. So you can trigger the bot in your system also. So ideally we talk about these three components, and we have also seen the process how to install this process as well, how to install the UiPath in your computer as well. So we have completed these three steps. Now, as per today agenda, the first topic is UiPath variables, constants, and arguments. Now, I'm sure that all of you will have a basic prerequisites in terms of basic programming knowledge, but I would like to focus on the UiPath, the concept what we have, so that you can correlate and use it for your automations. So variables is something that is used to store multiple types of data. Okay, so let's say that I have a I have to uh, I have to create a list. Okay, list of all the candidates present in a class. Okay, now I want to since I want to know the list, I want to know the names, right? So where I can store those names? As a manual, you will store it in an Excel, yeah, or a sorry sheet of paper where you will write the names. But in the software programming, we have a variables where we use to store these type of data, whether it is a name or whether it is a birth date or age, anything similar sort of this. So we have a variables. So variables used to store different type of data. Now, what are the properties? How you distinguish whether it is going to store the name or the age or the birth date? So we give a unique attribute to those variable, calling it as name. So we have a name, we give a name as a variable. Then we define variable type. So each variable can hold a similar type of data. So let's say I want to decide whether it will rain or not in form of yes or no, right? So for that particular answer to capture, we have a common data type like Boolean. So Boolean, integer to hold the numeric values, string to store the text characters, Data table, so if we want to have a multiple rows and columns, then we have a data table data type. Or if we have a list where we want to have all the different items, then we have an array. So these are the basic common data types available in the UiPath which is supported. And in case if you do not find this in the list, I will show you in the UiPath how we can still work with the other data types which is available in the .NET framework or the C sharp. So those variables is also supported in the UiPath. Then we define the scope, meaning meaning I have a process now. Let's say I have created a process of a list of candidates, right? Now I also want to create a list of uh, parents. I mean parents details, right? So now how I will correlate the parents to the students. I have to pass the candidate detail also. So then we define the scope. So I will show you in detail, demonstrate it in a detail that what does this scope meaning means. So we can use that particular variable in the another project or the another scenario or a workflow using this scope functionality. Then default value. So let's say you generally work with the count with the use cases like using while or using um for each, where we work with the counters, right? So let's say I want to, so in software programming all the counters always starts from 0, but I want to have a default value. Let's say it should start from 1 or it should start from 2. Then we can store the default value to our variable saying that let a equals to 2 and a be the counter, so we can increment from 2 onwards using this default value feature. Okay. Yeah. So currently I'll just demonstrate the theoretical part of these concepts, and then I will take you through the UiPath ecosystem where I will showcase how to create or what are the different ways to create this variable or the arguments. Okay. So arguments. So, since I was talking about the two different use cases, right? The list of candidates and the list of parents, right? So, in any automation projects, we always prefer to uh, divide our logic into a smaller chunks so that we can work with the data appropriately using our best practices. So that's why we always convert our logic into a small piece of project. And for that small piece of project, we call it as workflow. So UiPath supports sequence, flowchart, the state machines to divide those into a logic as a part of workflow, right? So how to pass a data, so we know at the moment that data is stored in a variable, but variable cannot be transferred from one project or one workflow to the another. But using arguments, you can pass the data or information between those workflows. So in order to pass the candidate detail to the parent list, I can use argument. Argument also holds the data. It just gives us flexibility that we can pass between the two different workflows. Okay. So we will see the properties that there are three properties basically in as an argument. If we want to accept the value, out if we want to pass the data outside our project, and in out if we are not sure or whether we want to also receive it as well as pass the value, then we can use in out property. Okay. Then the third concept is UiPath constants. Similar to like what we have discussed as a default value, right? Where we are assigning a value to a particular number. Similarly, we can also define constants. So I will showcase which activity can help you create constants if you do not want to assign the variable to a default value. So these are the basic differences between the variables and arguments, where variables you don't have any directions. Arguments have a directions in, out, in, out. There are different ways of creating the variables and the arguments. Variables require a defined scope. Arguments do not require a scope. Okay. So now I will demonstrate quickly in the UI path. So I go to UI path. Sorry, I got closed. I'm just opening it again. It's just loading. Okay, I can just share my window here. Hope my screen is visible. I mean, you can see the studio opened in my screen. Okay. So now I'll go to the process. Okay, this is the studio interface. So I think from the last session, you would have installed the UiPath. So you can go and search the UiPath Studio. And then this is the landing page of the UiPath Studio. So I have installed the enterprise license version 2024.10.6. Okay, and these are the different tabs on the left hand side. If you see, there is an open where you can open the recent project. Start, you can start with your project. Tools, if you want to install the UiPath extensions. So in the next sessions you will be working on the how to interact with the browsers. You can install the different extensions: Chrome, Edge, Firefox. If you want to start with the templates, so UiPath also provides some templates where you can kickstart your automation journey a bit faster rather than creating from scratch. We do have some best practices framework. You can directly start with the framework where you have some part of code already logic implemented, where you can just configure as per your project requirement. You have a Git repository connect as well. You can connect to the uh, Git repository from the Teams tab, and then you can clone the repository from here using Git. And these are the settings where you can rechange the interface color also if you want, the theme, the locations, the sources, everything. So now I'll go with the start and I will create the process. Okay. So again, you have a different criteria if you want to publish a library. So if you are a team of like more than 3 or 4, and you keep on working in the some application where login screen is very much required, then you can just publish it as a library so that the other developer do not have to recreate the development from scratch. They can directly just use it as a library and configure it for their solution. Okay, I start with the process. So as soon as you click on the process, you have to provide a name. So name of your project, give it a meaningful name. I'll give day 2, demo maybe, demo 1. Okay, click create. Think some other. So it is restoring the dependencies. So all the dependencies, the files which is required in order to run the bot or run the project, it is getting installed. It's taking time. Just yeah. So as soon as you create a project, it will ensure that all the dependencies are loaded. One second. My system is a bit slow. It's still loading. I'm just waiting for this cursor to give me the access. Let me just. Okay. I don't know what is happening.
Lovely, sorry to interrupt in between. Like teams are not able to see the proper screen sharing of UiPath Studio. So will you able to maximize it, the UiPath Studio?
Yeah. Is it now fine?
Yes, it is showing
Okay.
fine.
Sorry. Okay. So as soon as you create a process, your dependencies are loaded. Then this is the landing page of the design interface where you start, drag using the drag and drop of the activities to uh, do your development. So this is the desktop version. It's not a studio web version, where I have connected my assistant to the orchestrator URL, and then you can see here maybe it is connected to my workspace, which is orchestrator, and that's how it is working. Okay. Now, on the top, you will see the ribbon where it has a different options. You can create the new project, save, export as. You can use the debug button, manage packages. I will tell you in some time. Manage entities, you can use the manage entity function. Test manager, if you're working with a test manager also, you can have the test manager function enabled. This is for basically testing that use test cases, creating the test cases and testing the applications. App web recorder, used for recording. So this you when you have to do the recording, meaning interacting with the web applications or any desktop applications, and you want to mimic the actions, then you can use app web recorder. It's pretty cool. Computer vision, if you want to have some computer vision activities where you are not able to read, again it requires, I think, the API or the machine key, sorry, the API key in order to function, I believe. Okay. Then we have table extraction. So all these features will be demonstrated in the coming sessions. So make sure that you enroll for all the sessions so that you can study about the Excel automation, where you will understand the table extraction properties. Also in the web applications, you will understand. Left hand side is the activities, where you will have all the activities meaning the functionalities that you would like to automate. Let's say I want to automate a, a logic or a bot which asks you a question. Now, to ask a question, I need to find some functionality or some activity that help you achieve that, right? So I have an activity called input dialog, which helps you to ask a question or gives a pop-up window to the question to the user so that he can provide the answer to it. Okay. And on the right hand side, you will see the various panel, data manager, object repository. So there are various panels available. So this is the designer panel where we do the drag and drop of the activities which is present in the left hand side activities panel. If you would like to configure something on your project, then we have a project panel also. So if you see, it was taking time for me to load the project because it was installing the dependencies. So when you say dependencies, meaning the activity package. So if you see, there are multiple activities available. How it is available? It is with the help of dependencies. So these are the default dependencies that gets installed whenever you create any process or any project. Okay. And if you want to, let's say, work on other applications, maybe PDF applications, then you can go with the managed packages, and then you can go to all packages and look for those packages, like let's say PDF. Maybe I go with the PDF, so it will look for PDF packages, and then you can choose whether you want the external packages, developed by some of our UiPath community members, or if you want the reliable one in terms of something that is given by UiPath itself, then you can use the UiPath activity package. So if you select here, you can see that it says the different details, like who is the author, who created those activities. So this way you can explore with the packages. You can go to UiPath marketplace and just look around what are packages available, and then that way also you can utilize it. Okay. Now, I was talking about variable. Yeah. So we have a different ways to create a variable. Okay. First way is go to variable panel directly and then create a variable by giving a name. So let's say I want to create a name to capture the detail of a candidate, right? So I put a name, maybe put a candidate name. Okay. Variable type, I know that name will be a text characters. So okay, there was a space. I don't know. Candidate. 1 second. So, as a best practices, it is always better to have a Pascal because Pascal case, so that you also have a particular best practices enabled across. Uniformity is maintained in the entire project. So you give a meaningful name. Then we have a variable type. We should define that which type of data should this variable holds. So if you see the pop down, there is boolean, integer, string, object, data table, array. And in case if you are looking for more different types of variable, let's say dictionary or list, then you can click on browse for types. Okay, and here you will see based on the different dependencies, the supported variables are available here. So let's say if I want to choose dictionary, I'm just showing how to look for. Okay, and then in the dictionary you will find that there are various. So system collection generic is the something that that stores the key and value pair. So you can define it here, what should be the data type of the key. So I can put it as string. The value, I'll put it as string. So these are the different data types of the dictionary. Okay, and then click on OK. Now you see that this is a variable type which is created as a dictionary. Scope. So scope defines that it should be defined in which particular area, I would say. So right now if you see this, we currently in our project we have only one XAML. So XAML is one of the uh, to identify that what is the code extension. It's a XAML where the type of code file which it generates in UiPath is the XAML. So main.xaml is the one file only. Okay, and we have only one activity which is input dialog. Now let's say I create a sequence. Okay, so I talked about different type of workflows, whether it is sequence or flow chart. So now I will showcase these also. So I will drag the sequence. Okay, you can just go or you can search from here also, you can get it. Now this is the sequence. Now I put the input dialog as I put the input dialog inside the sequence. Okay, and maybe I give it as a name as take or accept candidate name. Okay, now if you see, if I go again and put it as input dialog. Okay, outside the sequence. And this is the first way to create a variable. The second way to create a variable is you have an activity. I always use this. Go with the output section and then use it as here. So for every activities, you will see the output section where you can also create the variable directly. So I clicked on plus and then choose the create variable option, And then now I have to just provide the name. So I will use maybe person name and hit enter. Okay. Now if you see, this is created. Okay, person name, and this is the candidate name. Let me just configure here also, because I have not defined where the candidate name has to be stored. Now this is dictionary. It was just for a demonstration. Now I will switch it to string, because candidate name is a string. It's not a key value pair. Okay. And I will also create one more activity, put as, so I will drag message box activity. Okay. And then I will show you the third way to create a variable. Okay. So now it select here and then hit Control K, the shortcut key. Okay. And then give a name. What I should give? Display. Okay. Now if you see here, since I created this variable inside this accept candidate name, now the scope of this variable is changed to accept candidate name. So meaning, now if I try to use this particular display variable here, I will not be able to see at all. I am just looking for display variable, but I'm not able to find. Why? Because the scope of this display variable is within this particular sequence, which is called as accept candidate name. But as I change this scope from here to main sequence, what will happen is, now if I try to search for display, let me just retype it again. Now it shows it. So this is the scope, which is very important to understand, because sometimes we create all the variables in the main sequence, and then we tend to forget and use it in another activities excessively. So it is always good to ensure that we create the variable in the innermost sequence, so that you are using or ensuring that no data mishandle happens. So this is the scope. Now if I want to create a default value, maybe I'll put it like my name. I should have put it in the display. I don't require here. Okay. So now let's see what happens. So I have an input dialog box. I should just give a name. So this is the activity, and you just define what is the title. So window 1, or please provide candidate name. Okay. Label of the window, information needed. Okay. Then I'm displaying this I don't require, because it was just for demonstration purpose. No, it's taking too it's taking time. I don't know, my system is okay. Okay. Now I'll just remove this also, it's not required. Okay. Now I'll save. Now I will show how to use it. But I'm not using message name at all, it's candidate name at all. So I will just use message box and display the candidate. Okay. Okay. So if you see, I'm not storing or asking any value which stores the value as a display. I'm just going to display the default value. So save, and now I will run. In order to run, you can either click or here. I always prefer to, run the file. So if you are working with multiple projects, then you can use this run file to just run the similar, or you can click on just run here. So now it is going to compile the activities for all the activities that is available. It will just see that there is no errors. If there is any error, then you will get an exclamation mark, and then not exclamation, the red mark, and then you will not be able to run. So then you'll have to fix it in order to ensure that it is working fine. Okay. What is now? Where is my window? So let's see, it's running. We can see this. Sorry, my screen. Okay, where is it? So you should ask me the question to provide the candidate name. I don't know why it is taking time. Okay, something is happening. There is a window. Okay, now, so my system is too bad. Okay, now I provide the name. I'll provide my, okay, I should not provide my name. I should give something else. So this is the name which I provided. It will store into the candidate name. Okay. But first I have put message box to display the default value. So it will first display the default value, which is lovely. And then it is going to display the candidate name, which I have provided. So Priyashi. So this is the flow and understanding of variables. Now I will show you the logic and then some kind of practical example for arguments. Okay, so let's say that I create, I have to put another logic in my same project. Okay, I go and create the sequence, give a name to it, maybe um, okay, something except number, let's say. Okay, so if I show you in project, just refresh the accept number, then another XAML file is created, meaning this is another this area we have to put our the next logic, and then we will see how we can connect our two workflows, pass the data from one to the another. Okay, we cannot use variables into the multiple workflows, but yes, we can pass the data using the arguments. Okay, now what I will do is I will go here and just use message box. Okay, so what I'll do is when I run the project, I accept the file, accept the candidate name from here, but I'm going to display this in the second workflow. So I will just delete this activity. In this workflow, I just want to accept the value and pass this value from here to the accept number. Okay, now, I don't want to, we cannot use variable because we are accepting the, we are expecting the value to come from the main workflow, right? What we will do is, the fourth way to create any variable or argument is here. You have something called data manager, okay? If you want to create a variable, you can go ahead and create a variable here by clicking on new variable and give a name to it, and then you can define the data type, the scope, similar to what we have seen from here. Okay, now I don't want to create a variable, I want to create a argument. Okay, so I go with here in argument. So yeah, now this file has to receive the candidate name, right? So I just put it as in. So it's always advised to ensure the direction so that you do not confuse that what type of data it holds. Okay, in candidate name, so it is going to expect the candidate name. Okay, now here I will just define in candidate name. Okay, so this message box will display the candidate name coming from the first main workflow. How to now link those things, link those two files, right? So we have an activity called invoke workflow. Okay, so this workflow, so this is our main project where we are accepting it, where we are displaying the message, and then we are invoking the workflow to display the candidate name. Okay, I go with a plus. I mean, I need to define that which workflow I want to invoke. Okay, the accept number. Then click on import arguments. I don't know why it takes so much time. Let me just save it. Save all. Meanwhile, I'll just show you from here for this one. Though we have created here, but we can see that in candidate name, argument is created with in as a direction and the argument type as a string. It's similar to same as variable data type. Now I click on here. There should be, I think something is going to come. 1 second. Pop up. Why this time? Okay. I think import argument was just for creating it and ensuring that all the arguments has mapped. We just click on here. So this is the modern activities. So yeah, click here, and then you can see that in candidate name coming from the accept number XAML file is has to be mapped to which data. Now we link our variable which was in the main XAML file, which was candidate name. Okay, we link this candidate name to our expecting argument which needs some data from the variable. We link the argument to the variable from the main workflow. Okay, and then save it. Save, then I will run it. So if you can see, this when I'm running this main file, I am running the first step, which will come to ask the question. I'll minimize it so that you can see the pop-up when it comes. Meanwhile, I can take the question. So difference between invoke workflow and invoke process. So workflow, you can invoke the XAML file, invoke the process. So if there is any process which is deployed in the orchestrator and you would like to trigger it from one process to another, I mean the existing one to the another, then you can use the invoke process. I don't know. My system is new, but still it is taking time. Okay, if I click more, then it will be like not responding. Okay, I get this. Okay, info needed. So I give another name, maybe a Priyashi again. Now, what it is going to do? It will display the default name, right? Now it should display the argument value, which is Priyashi. Okay. Okay, now this was the way to pass the argument value. Now let's say you want to send some value from here to the main. How you can do that? Maybe asking a question here. I will not run because it takes time for running it, and then, but what I will showcase here, maybe here we create another argument out. Now I will put it as date, age, let's say. Okay, I will direct put the direction as out and put it as integer. Okay, I will just put it here as out age. I will just give nothing, keep it as empty. Okay, save it. So now in this workflow, I'm trying to pass the value. So at previously we were accepting a value, right, in the main workflow, and this accept number file was trying to wait for or anticipating the value from the main, but now it will pass the value from the accept number which was being asked when accept number was invoked, and it will pass to the main. Okay, so now I have put out as the direction, go from the main. Okay, I will click on import argument again. Now if you see that says two items in dictionary, so expand it. Now this age value is coming from the accept number XAML, and I will store it in my main XAML, because then I can use this age for my next steps, right? So now I can create a variable, click Control K, and then you can just give in age number, right? Save it, and this way you can work and play around with the arguments, right? So then you can use a message box again. Maybe I'll just copy, paste. Sorry. Okay, and then you can use age number here. So this way you can play around with the arguments and the variables. Okay, now I will go for the next topic from the current slide. Which is string operations in UiPath. Now we have seen that how to store the data, different types of data, and now we will see how we can use the data manipulation. We can perform any operations on those data. Okay. Now when I say data, data could be anything. Could be string, could be integer, could be data table. When we talk about data table, then we will see the Excel concept, how we can work with those data, because Excel only stores the data rows and columns, right? So then you will see how to play around with the data table. Currently, for this particular session, because we just started with understanding how to store the data, we will see how to do perform operations in the string, okay, the text characters. Okay, now this slide will be shared, and uh, I have tried to keep all sort of string operations that we can perform. So consider that we have two variables. We know how to store variables, right? And this is a default value, so we are storing it. Okay, yeah. Regarding constant, one more concept which I forgot to mention here. So okay, it's still again dancing. I'll showcase this constant also in the how we can do that. Okay, but okay, I'm currently scared with this. From who is going to do this?
Maybe you can close the UiPath Studio as of now, Lovely.
Uh, I think now it is working, so it's okay. Yeah, I wanted to show the constant part, right? How if we want to explicitly store instead of using any default value, we have an activity called assign. Okay, we can just drag and drop. Okay, and we can explicitly initialize, or we can explicitly store the values directly from here. So let's say I want to, now I have provided the candidate name something, some like Priyashi, right? Now I want to change that value. So what I can do is, after that I will reinitialize or restore the value and some another value, meaning overwrite will happen, and then I will give it like something as Mayank. Okay. So this way you can have a constant value also associated with the variable. So this was the part which was missing. So let's say for my string operations, which I said, we create a variable, control K, str company name. Okay. Sorry, it's it not be company name, but it's okay. I'll put something as TCS. Okay. So this way you can store any data constant value here. Now I'll go with again current slide. So different string operations that you can do. You can remove the any leading or the trail spaces, any extra spaces if you find in the string, you can remove using the trim function. If you find it in the beginning, then you can have a trim start. All the white space characters will be removed, trim end. If you want to convert all the characters in the string to uppercase, to upper, similarly to lower, then we have a functionality, we have function. These are C#.NET functions basically. If you want to get the total number of characters present in the string, you can use dot length, meaning the string company A dot length. You can provide the same syntax or same code in the assign activity, or wherever you would like to, let's say message box, you want to display the length, the number of characters of the company name, you can just put uh, company name dot length, that then you will be able to dot to string, because message box accepts the string. So reverse str reverse index, if you want to return the position, then you can get the index of split the string. So if you want to so there's a full name and you want to split with the help of space, then you can do that. So I can showcase the demo once after this, completing all the string operations that we can do. String a comparison, we can also compare the two strings, which will return 0 if both the strings are equal, otherwise it will return 1. So we can do the replace all the occurrence of any characters. You can even remove the certain characters from any particular fixed position. You can insert the specified string. You can check whether if a string is null or empty using is null or empty property or the function. You can concatenate the join the two more strings using string concat function. So you might be working with assets where we have to convert the string to a password, I meaning. So you can convert the string to secure string using the syntax called new system .NET network credential, and then you can provide this as a function of secure password. So this will help you to do the any kind of string operations. You can play around with the data, with the textual characters, with the data stored in a variable with this operations. Okay, there are also some activities. Okay, I think here, so one of the use case maybe I can give, if you would like practice, you can extract, you using the string operations, you can extract the email address. So you can just try it out. You can you can use this logic, or you can create this logic in order to extract the email address, maybe something like, let's say lovely.sinha@gmail.com, and you would like to play around by replacing or extracting only the domain name, which is lovely.sinha. You can play around with that. Or we have some string activities also, so that supports the string operation, something like text to left right, modify text, change type. These are the different activities that you can utilize and play around. Okay. Before I go with the building and bot, I would like to just quickly demonstrate input and output methods. And this you will see in detail when you go through the next session, which is next and the next session on the web automations. So input and output methods, right? Whenever we are interacting with any application, meaning we are trying to provide some instruction to the application, those are referred as input methods. Okay, so like when we go to any web browser, we perform click, we type in to provide our data, right? So those are the input methods. However, the output methods covers something that we get out of it. So let's say we want to scrape any data. Maybe we go to amazon.com and we try to get the item list or the item detail. Then we are trying to perform or get some data out of it, right, from the web page. So how we can do? We can do it using the get text or using the screen scraping. So these are the two different methods that can help you to get something out of the application, which is covered as output methods. Okay. Now, again, okay, I'll go back to UiPath after this. So we have a different three methods to achieve the input method. Okay, I mean four methods: hardware event, window message, simulate, Chromium API. Okay, now my always preference is to start with the simulate, because simulate function it is works with the most of the 90% or 99% of web applications, I would say. And it basically works on all the event handlers, so any web developers. So the application developers, they will create multiple event handlers with in terms of JSON or JavaScript. So simulate function, basically a method, directly triggers those event handlers of those websites or any applications, right? So the compatibility is like 99% web and 60% of desktop. So if you have any use case scenario where you are, whenever you don't need any hotkey support, you can go ahead first with a simulate. It is very faster. And then if it doesn't work, then you can work with the, if you're working with a Chromium browser, then you can use the Chromium API, where it requires UiPath extension, so you will have to install the extension as a prerequisite. And then it will, the compatibility would be 100%, I would say, for the Chromium API, in case simulate doesn't work and you are working with a Chromium browser. But there are certain applications where you have to work with a Windows, where you do not have any the Chromium browser or any hotkey is not supported, or it's supported, I would say, other way. So then you can use window message. So window message basically uses all the Windows message loop, and it can be compatible to 80%, I would say. And if it is not working, then you can use the next as in hardware events, which basically uses system drivers. The only I would say the drawback would be that it requires foreground execution, because it is working with the system and using the system driver. So it is needs a hardware event method which requires the foreground execution in order to work with it. I'll showcase where you will find those features in the studio. But at the moment, just take this order: something like simulate, then maybe window, and then hardware. And if you're explicitly working with a Chromium browser, then you can use Chromium API. Similarly, for the output method, if you were trying to get the extract the data, we have a three different capabilities: full text, native, OCR. There are some other activities like getting from Tesseract or Microsoft OCR, because we are getting some text out of it. But you can still use this concept of capabilities method. I will showcase where we will be using it. Okay. And these are the different metrics where it is The speed, again, full text, depends on, it's very trial and error, but again depends on the document or depends on the screen where it is presented. So native, the accuracy is 100%, but background execution is no, it doesn't work because it tries to extract the text position, so that's why. So I'll just showcase in the UI path now before I go to the next session, next topic. Is my screen hang? Because I can see somebody has pinged on use of string page is still available. Can you see my build a bot session, Anupma?
Yes, I can see it, lovely.
Okay, fine. So before we deep dive, I'll just quickly show here. Okay. So this is the use case. Meanwhile, my window opens, which we will demonstrate. So hope everybody is now available with UiPath Studio, and then we will parallelly try to finish this use case. Okay. So it's something like we'll create a project that will ask full the user full name, and then we will do some string manipulation. We'll try to get the first letter of the full name. Then we are gonna ask the year of the birth. Then we will do the data manipulation. Since the year of the birth could be number, we will do some mathematical operations to calculate the age. We will display the name and age in the message box. And the same time, we can uh, use some activity to display the result or write the result in our output panel. Okay. So I think now I don't have to come back to the PPT maybe. So I will just minimize.
Lovely, sorry to interrupt. Like, can you please speed up little bit because we have, uh,
Sure, sure. I will
yes.
just. Okay. Uh, okay. I'll just quickly delete it. It's not required. Okay. I'll first show. I just wanted to show that where you can see the simulate type quickly. So for each activities, you will have a properties. Okay. And then here you will see the input mode. So like I said, input method or input output method. So in the input method, you can see this. So you can play around with these different technologies. Like I said, in the same order, you can use simulate or so. And yeah, I think output method you will see once you start working on the, we will see the demonstration on this output method for the PDF and for the web automation as well. So then you can play around. Okay. So now I will quickly go back to our use case. So first, to ask a user, I should not have deleted it, but my bad. Enter full name. Okay. So how many of you are also working parallelly? Okay. I'll proceed. Just give a name, type your full name. Okay. So in the input type, I will try to deep dive little bit, but yeah. So you can either accept one value or, from the user, or you can add multiple choice. So many options you can give for a user. Select any one of them. You can use this. For now, go for the text box. To create a value, go click Control K and give a name. Okay. Now we have to assign only the first letter. So basically we want to do some kind of manipulation. So we will use assign activity. Okay. So we'll work in a sign activity. We always work from right to left because we first decide what to do, and then we will get the computation result. What will be the data that we want to store into as a variable? Okay. So we will first compute the string operation. So string variable, which is our full name, we will perform, we'll try to get the first letter, right? So we will use full name dot substring. You'll define how many characters with that you would like to extract. So it's the first letter. So I'll put 01. Okay. And then I will, like I said, I always go with creating output variable directly from the activity. Hit Control K and give a name to it. Okay. Now I have to ask another question. The date, the year. My bad. Input dialog. Okay. I'll be just type what is your birth year. Type the year you were born. Okay, same one value only required. Birth year. Now, birth year. What should be the type? Should we, let me just delete redundant. I don't need this. This is from our previous exercise. I just don't want to confuse, that's why I'm omitting those. Now, birth year cannot be string, right? So it has to be integer. And we know that we are going to calculate the age. So I will just, because of the time limit, I will just create another variable here as an integer because we know that we have to calculate the age. Okay. Now we go assign activity again. So if you see any type of manipulation I'm doing, I'm using assign activity, right? Because I want to compute and then store. 2024 minus birth year, let's put it that way, and then we have age. Okay. Now I want to display in a message box. Now here, there's another thing. We will first put something as, I would like to put like first letter. Let's put like this, which is our variable. That's why I'm not putting in the quotes because variable is a string, so it understands. Now plus is the way, if you don't want to use concat, we can do the plus to add the two strings. So string, now I'm putting a free text, which means it has to be under double quotes. Okay. Now I want to provide age. Okay, but age is my number. It has to be string because when we try to add, it should be the same type of data type. So I use the dot to string. So this will convert the integer to the string. If you want to do integer, then you can do convert dot int3 to int and then put string in the bracket. So you can refer the commands which is there in the slide. Okay. And after this, what we're going to display is, I think that's it. We don't need anything else. Okay. Now this is our message box. Now I also want to write in our output panel. I can use write line directly. I'll just copy it. Okay, done. So yeah, I'll just run it. Run 5. Okay, I give my name. Let me give all my full name. I'll not give my real year of birth, so I'll give something like this. You see, it says my first letter, the free text characters, and then the age number. Okay, so this is the first bot that we have built. So let me know, if you were also able to build parallelly along with me. And now, and for any questions, you can definitely reach out to me directly. I think Anupam would have shared the LinkedIn ID as well. Any questions? Any open questions, Anupma?
No, lovely. I guess few of questions we have answered it already.
Okay, great. So now I think I hand over to you. So guys, please join to Mentimeter. Yeah, I think you can take it forward, Nupma.
Yes, lovely. So thank you, lovely, for your this session. It was really good and it was really detailed. I hope participant has built their first bot. Guys, we have one quiz where we'll have 5 to 6 questions, and the winners will be getting goodies as well. And
Anupama,
this will be
can you take?
yes,
Yes, so before we go that, so thank you so much, Lovely, for the wonderful session. If you see, almost still you on the screen, you can see 100 plus participants are still able to do. So really appreciate with the detailed interactive session where you driven the audience in a way that they can build their own bots by using. I see many people are asking many questions, and the team moderator Anupama and our team members has been answered all these questions. But really, really appreciated your efforts, being in your busy schedule and taking this time. You can see your messages popping up for the feedbacks you are getting. So really happy for that. Really appreciated. Yes, guys. Before we going to Menti, as Anupama will do the Menti, you can still any questions which are not cleared earlier can rise up, and Lovely can take up that in chat. Yeah, really great session. Lovely, thank you very much and appreciate it. Yes, yes, yeah. That's the motivation we need, guys, from the audience, so that we can the speaker can be smiled and she can bring more sessions. Yeah.
yes.
I
Thank
think
you.
Anupama, will you share your screen with
Yes,
me?
yes, I am sharing it. Yeah.
Yeah, so before Anupama is coming, so she already shared the website where you can join the Menti. Okay, it is simple menti.com. So Anupama will explain what it is and how it is.
Okay. Uh, Guys, please join that link I have shared in the chat group. We'll wait for a few minutes. Like I have already shared the link and the code. If you can join it, and then we'll have a few questions over there.
Yeah, Anupama, can you explain what it is and how they can
Yes,
run
yes.
this?
Yes, once you click on that menti.com code will like you have to mention the code which I've already pinged in the chat, and the correct answers will be reflecting over the once you answer the questions, correct answers will be reflecting over the screen sharing, and like whoever has given the answers in time being, so that will be reflecting above in the leaderboard you will be getting your name in the first, so that like we can announce some few winners first and second, and then I'll be sharing you the email id. You can share your address and everything on that email id to give you the goodies.
Yes, thank
I guess we have only 49 participants. Guys, please register because I could see we have 102 participants are there and 49 players have been joined.
You can
Please,
join in mobile also. Yeah, it will work.
yes.
Just and click on menti.com
Thank
as
you.
Raghava given. So if you click that, just click it in from your mobile. It works. It works. Mobile also it works. No need to worry. Yes, few 46 से लेकर 670. Yeah, good number. Wait
Mhm.
for some
Yes.
few more minutes. You can do it from mobile as well. There is no restriction. As Anupama explained how the Menti and what is it. So it is just an quiz session where you wanted to test your own knowledge from this own session. Nothing um other different things. Only this session questions will be there. It is MCQ, so very easy. So 75. Yes, very good number.
Yes, I could see 74 people are joined.
Yeah, please wait for last one more minute and
Okay, I guess 71 people has joined. Uh, like I have not started yet. So once it is started, then you will be able to see the questions, Vasundhara.
I think you are good, Anupama. Go ahead.
Yes, yes. Okay, let me start. Sorry, 1 second.
Okay, maybe see basically once yes, it is coming.
Yes, it's coming now. Yeah. So guess the Vijay Deverakonda movie from this snip. So Nota, family, and the Arjun Reddy, which is the correct answers. Guys, please. We have 7 seconds left. Okay, I guess almost 48 has given the correct answers.
And don't expect next question from Allu Arjun. So just a sample question, okay?
Yes, like this second question. What is a variable path and why it is used? So we have 20 seconds.
This is a real test, guys.
Almost all the people has given correct answers. So to share data temporarily during automation. So it's a variable. Okay. Nice. I guess Mango is at the top, and then Sai Kumar. Congratulations. But next it can change. So let me go to the next question. When would you use an out argument in UiPath? So there will be options. We have 23 seconds left. Okay. Yeah. Very good. Like 56 people has answered correctly. Let me
Just
go.
want to add, so it was the in argument for those who have given the wrong answers. In argument is used to pass between the workflow, but we want to pass out. So, as the name out argument says.
Yes. Let me see the leaderboard. Okay, Gayatri and Sai, we have in the top two. Rest all, please try to answer in a second so that you will be on top. Let me go to the next question. What is the purpose of input dialog activity in UiPath? I guess this we have learned just now. So I hope everyone will be giving correct answers for this. We have 4 seconds left. Okay. Yes, 55 people has given correct answer. Let me just see the leaderboard. Who is coming at the top? Okay, now leaderboard has changed, I guess. Lokesh and Subhash, they are on the top. Guys, please hurry up because we have few questions left only. Fifth questions. Okay, 1 second. How do you extract a specific portion of a string in UiPath? This is the last question. Please try to answer fast.
Yeah, after this question, just wait for 10, 20, 30 seconds. So we'll.
Yes. Okay. 48 people has given the correct answer. So this was the last question. So let me see who is
Lovely, you want
coming.
to explain this question? Why the wrong answer and
Sorry, I was speaking on mute. Yeah, so how do you extract a specific portion of string in UiPath? I think we use this to get our first letter name, right? If you see, we use the substring method to extract the first character. Now, why we are wrong in this split method? Because split is something like we want to break and get the some content of it, right? So substring is something that we just need a specific portion, but split is something that we need to define why we want to split, whether it is due to the between the back white space characters or because it is has the some delimiter comma or something. That's why the substring is the correct one. Trimmed, we're not trying to get rid of all the white space characters from the beginning or the end, or we need to extract a specific portion from the middle. That's why substring is the correct answer.
Okay, thank you, lovely. Let me see the leaderboard of this quiz.
is this the last question, Anupama?
Yes, yes. This was the last question.
Okay.
Congratulations, Venkat, are the winner.
Yes, hearty congratulations, Mr. Venkat and Mr. Shravan. So
Yes.
you are the winners for this session. Uh, So, guys, if you see, Venkat and Shravan has been answered all the questions correct, and they are fastest finger first. So it will calculate the points. If you see, 4699 4682. So it is minute only. It will depend on the fastest finger and yeah. Yes, Anupama, you can continue.
Yes, thank you, Venkat. Thank you all for participating. I congratulate Venkat and Sharan. So, like, I will be sharing you the email ID. You can share your complete address over Nikhilesh email ID. I will be sharing you that email ID, and you will be getting some uh, goodies. And yeah, thank you. Like, it was a very good session for all your participants.
Yeah, so basically in my email ID, you should able to send your complete address. For example, your flat number, door number, road number, anything. The courier should reach your destination. So don't miss it with, because somebody sent Rajasthan, but I don't know what it Rajasthan, what is the place and all. I cannot again find. Last year, it everybody sending some village names and all. I'm not getting the pin codes, so I'm not familiar with Rajasthan. I may be not familiar with Goa. So right. So yeah, recording, as my team is already mentioning, right, you will be able to see all the recordings in the same links where you have joined the session after couple of days. For example, today is the lovely session, so after 2 days if you go to the lovely session, you will able to see the same recordings. Okay. For example, you can, or else I will only share the screen with your, yeah, give me 1 second. Only charger is one. Charging metro. Charging. Give me 1 second. I'm sharing my screen before all the audience question. So hope my screen is visible. Can you confirm somebody if my screen is visible?
Yes, yes, Nikhilesh.
Yeah, if you see this, this is the meeting link where you all has been joined yesterday, right? And just go there, and yeah, the recording is already available. It's uploaded and it is available, right? Even the pictures is also available. Everything is available. So don't worry about. I just my side and speaker side. The request is only thing, you prepare. I mean, you come with the learning, understand the learnings, and practice more and make it lovely. Can you add what I'm telling? Yeah, can you add your points here? Yeah, how they
Yeah,
can
sure.
engage themselves and all.
Yeah, so definitely, I have already given the comments in terms of you can refer the acme.uipath.com or just try with the basic, since this the topic was in line with more of the variables at the moment, understanding, check whether the year is leap year or not, ask, think about what questions you can ask, and then how the bot can answer or do the calculations. Maybe create a calculator. Wow, calculator could be something that you can let the bot calculator be something you can create of your own, where you just pass the numbers, ask the user how many numbers to be added, how many numbers you need to perform calculations, and then do some operations, any mathematical function. So these are the couple of things which you can start, get it started. And I would always recommend go with the RP Academy, UiPath Academy, and just go through the each courses, because there also we have couple of assignments available where you can just go and complete the task. But with the current, if I saw there many people asking about the which use cases or what we can automate from now, maybe from the today's session you can start with creating a calculator bot, or checking whether year is leap year or not, whether any year, whether any text has you can convert, play around with converting the text data, something like that. So this way you can get it started along with our UiPath Academy. Yeah, that's all from my end.
Yeah, thank you so much. As she said, please follow the steps, whatever the thing. And one final request from the speakers or organizer or host or even from the UiPath community is like, whatever you share, you learn this in this session. Please write a small post in LinkedIn. Tag speakers. For example, today is lovely. What you learned from this session, and today moderator is Anupama. Please tag her, and host is Bhavani. Please tag her. Please tag other speakers as well. so that it will reach to the different people this kind of sessions has been doing, and even this kind of activities has been doing in UiPath, and let it will give us a lot of support and lot of encouragement to us to uh, bring more and more series and more yeah things to us. And without wasting your time, I know it's already bit late, but thank you so much. Tomorrow is day 3. Don't forget to join for day 3. Again, it's a wonderful topic by other speakers. My team has been already given the links for day 3. Please do register for day 3 at 8 p.m. IST. Again, it will continue, the series will continue till November 22nd, with different topics, with different speakers and different expertise involved. So please do share your feedbacks. And yeah, before closing, moderators and speakers or anybody available in camera, they can come back, or else we can close this call. Yeah, what's that sound? Lovely, can you come for 1 second if you are available? Okay, Vanilla Barnali, you are there. Major, thank you. Yeah, Vanilla, you are there by any chance? Or Barnali, if you yeah, Vanilla, you are coming. Okay,
Yeah, you
Barnali.
can continue, Holy Clash. Thank you.
Okay, 1 second. Give me 1 second then. And Barnali, you are there by any chance?
Lovely. There is one questions. If you can answer it.
Yes, I'm typing it.
Okay.
Okay, any of the team members who are available and want to join in video? If not, we can end, because I think we are good. Major, you can take some picture. You went off. Huh? Yeah, I think really good. Thank you so much, lovely Anupama, and my entire
Thank you,
women team
Bhavani.
for making this session possible and making this session engaging. And special thanks to Anupama for continuously moderating this session. It went really well. No hooks and here ducks. So really good. Thank you so much. And yeah, we'll meet in the next session, guys.
So
Thank
I'll get my goodies to
you.
delivered in Dubai.
Yes, yes, you will get.
Noted.
Yeah, yeah. You'll get in Dubai. In 150th floor of Burj Khalifa or somewhere.
हाँ ठीक है फिर तो मैं पहुंच ही नहीं पाऊंगी.
Okay.
Okay, see you then. Thank you so much
Thank you
everyone.
all. Thank you.
Thank
Bye.
you all.